When you saw an opportunity, you built a business around it. And every day since, you've kept a sharp eye on ways to evolve and keep your business thriving. It takes courage, creativity, and a clear perspective. At Bremer Bank, we understand that your business is the result of your hard work and ingenuity, and we're here to support you with solutions when you spot an opportunity to grow. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything.
It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Evette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These jet-setting divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hi, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Evette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet-Setting Divas. Hey, ladies, what's going on in the world of travel?
Hey.
It's
about to be summertime, and people, the kids are about to be out of school. People are going on vacations. It's going to be a lot of traveling going on this summer.
Yes, and I'm all for it. Y'all see, I got my shirt on, called me a fly girl. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly. But I'm sure they got more cheaper, inexpensive, all-inclusive places to do, things to do, and places to go.
So, people are always thinking about, okay, where can I go that's affordable? I like cruises. I don't know about y'all. Some people don't like cruises, but I love cruises because you get to visit a lot of different destinations. You don't have to just be like, in one place.
Yes. Oh, yes. I did some cruises last year. Yeah, I like a good cruise.
Mm-hmm.
I would say too that cruising is a good way for people who are new to traveling to actually go on a trip. And just like you were saying, they can get on that boat and then they can go to 2 or 3 different destinations. I know we went to Europe last year and they have a European cruise that I would like to do where you can go to several different countries.
Oh, yeah. But let me tell you, if you're new to cruising, do not try to go on a 7-10 day. Start small, because that cruise that we went to when we went on the Margaritaville, that is perfect for a new cruising person. 2 days, 2-3 days we were there, but it was like 2 nights, 3 days, we were done because it was quick and fast.
That was good for me because that was my first cruise. So now I want to go on another one. But if I had went on one maybe 5-7 days, that may have just been too much.
Yeah.
So would you go on a 5-day now, Jeanette, you think?
Maybe.
A 4-day or a 5-day? Yeah. They have 4 days also.
I would probably do 4. I'm probably going to go to 4 first rather than just go on 5 or 7.
There are a lot of cruises that leaves out of Houston. If you're local in Texas, right out of, not Houston,
Galveston.
Galveston, that do like just 4 days. It's going to bring you to like Cozumel.
They go to Progresso.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did Costa Maya. I did Costa Maya one time too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those are very short cruises. They are like 4-day cruises.
Yeah, but 4 days is perfect for me. And I've cruised quite a bit because I did a 7-day when I went to Honduras. Then we went to Costa Maya and we went to Cozumel. That was too much for me. 7 days on a boat, I was bored. I was tired. By the last few days, I didn't even get off and go to Cozumel. I just stayed on the boat because I was tired. I was like, ugh. You got to get off. Because getting off the cruise ship, then you got to walk to like the port. You got to walk, and then you got to catch a cab or have some excursion set up, and some people just stay in the little center. And I was just tired. So 7 days is a lot for me.
So what would the entry level for a price be for someone wanting to do? How much? I can't remember what the details are, but I know we got a deal on the trip that we went on last year.
Well, a lot of people don't really know about Margaritaville.
Mm-hmm.
Margaritaville has resorts and they also have a cruise, and it leaves out of Tampa Bay.
No,
and
beach. I thought it was Palm Beach or
Palm Beach.
Palm
Yeah,
Beach.
these are two different places now. Remember,
Oh,
the
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah,
other one opened up. So Palm Beach out of Florida, leaves out of Florida, and
Mhm.
it's very, very economical.
yeah,
Um, Palm Beach, Florida, and Tampa Bay, Florida, is the two places that
Mhm.
leaves out of. And if you just want to test a cruise out because you don't really know, if you will like a cruise or not, if you like a cruise or not, you can go there. And what was it like? We did a 2 night, and we
yeah. 2 nights, three
like
days.
$200 or something like
That's
that.
what it
Yeah,
was. It was
yeah.
very affordable, maybe around two. And we drove ourselves. We flew into Orlando.
Orlando,
And
yeah.
then
And
we
we
drove
stayed at a
over.
resort in Orlando
Mhm.
and then we drove up. But what I have to say about the margarita, because one of our counterparts that went with us, her and Jeanette won another trip and she actually went on the other trip. And she said the newer, I think she flew out of went out of Tampa, they are really more family oriented. So it wasn't like the party boat
Mhm.
that we were on. She said it
Mhm.
was so family, wasn't, it's fun. Like you could go to the comedy. Everything was clean, like clean comedy. It wasn't like
Oh,
for
wow.
adults.
I would have
So she
thought
said
that
it
would
was,
have been different. Okay.
yeah, she said it was too family. It was too family. So
Okay.
you couldn't even connect. She said, they found some people to hang out with, but you know how we went over to the Bahamas and we were just on this island. It was just,
Mhm.
adults, young adults, and they
Mhm.
could have fun. She said she went there, it was just a bunch of families and kids, and she didn't
Wow.
feel that it was like as
With
much
your
fun
single
as the
person.
2 day that
Okay.
we did.
Okay. So if you
Mhm.
don't know much about a cruise, it is rather all inclusive. All of your food is included. They will have some restaurants that you may have to pay for, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can always eat all day
Day
long.
long.
At night, you have a nice dinner, that you can sit down, nice dinner in a restaurant that you can enjoy. Um, snacks late at night if you want to eat
Yeah,
pizza, at 3 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
I
Have
was happy that they had those games. And
yeah.
I'm not a casino
Clubs.
person, but I did like to go because they had like a special get gathering for certain people who were using the casino the first night that we got there. We were
Uh-huh.
able to go to some secret parties and win some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we had a little we went
VIP.
regular.
Yeah, we were yeah,
We
yeah.
were upgraded, so that's why we were able to go over to those particular, do those particular things. So, if
Yeah,
you are a casino gambler, if you book the cruise, tell them
yeah.
that you go to the casino all the
At the
time. They may
time.
ask you for, but they may
I,
upgrade you and give you that opportunity. Just FYI.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And then even when I did the Jubilee, which is that 7 day out of Galveston. That
Mhm.
was actually they had the best comedy. They had like comedy, they had
Mm.
karaoke every night. They would have like big name artists. They even had a full on wedding that you went to, which we all were able to participate, everybody on the boat. They
Mm.
had again food everywhere, and then Shaq had a restaurant on the boat, so that was even
Mm.
fun.
Okay.
And so that was that. I thought that was one of the cool things. And they would have those, like we played Deal or No Deal, and we played Family Feud. They had bingo. The whole boat did bingo. So
Yeah. It's a
it
lot
was
of
a
activity.
lot of things to
Okay,
do.
many
Discount
activities.
on discount at the stores. Like they would have like a flash sale at one of the jewelry stores or one of the clothing stores. So
Mm.
and you could go and I mean, some people bought some really, really beautiful purses. So it's a lot of stuff to do
Yeah.
on those boats. I mean anything that you want to do. If you want to, they did scavenger hunts. They had, I mean, big photo nights with people taking pictures with gaudy big dresses and sitting down with the
Mm.
captain and having dinner. And we went to a tea party and
They
we went
have
to,
formal night. The formal,
yes,
yeah, the
they had a
formal.
Mm.
formal
You
night.
dress
Yeah, they
up,
had a,
you dress up real fabulous, and you take all these beautiful pictures and
yes,
go
yes.
and have this nice dinner and eat steak and lobster.
With the captains, and then
That's
you eat with the
nice.
Yeah,
captain. Yeah, so the longer ones it's a
Yeah.
lot of variety to do. They would have like they had cigars on a deck when it was like they had this whole like cigar room, cigars and bourbon. It was a lot of stuff to do.
Mhm.
It was just, you get over, when you get to a certain point, the vacation part never comes in if you continue to do all of that stuff. You don't
Yeah.
get a chance to rest and relax and sit by the pool and, do some line dances or something.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up also is it's all you can eat. You can eat all day at different type of restaurants, but just note that it's not all you can drink as far as alcoholic
Oh,
beverages
Mhm.
are
Okay.
concerned.
yeah.
So you will end up having to buy an alcohol package in order
It,
to drink, alcohol on cruises.
and
That you
everybody in the room has to buy the package. So it's
right.
like one person
Mhm.
can't buy a package. Everybody has to buy a package.
Exactly. So if you're two people in a room and one person wants to buy the package, the other person has to buy it too. They're not going to
Mm,
let you just buy one.
Mhm.
right.
You have to buy, you both of you have to buy it.
Yeah.
So
One thing
that's
that I was concerned about was getting sick on there. Since that was my first cruise, I was concerned
Mhm.
about just being out there on the water and getting sick. And I did not get sick, but I did take some motion pills with me so that if I had got sick out there, I would have had something to take. So I would say
Mm,
for a new traveler, maybe
yeah.
take medicine with you just in case you're not sure how your body's gonna handle being out on the water.
Yeah, but
yeah.
they do have a clinic and they do have a doctor,
Mhm.
a few doctors on deck. So
Mhm.
you have the whole gamut of that. If you do get sick or ill, and I told you the last time I was on the boat, somebody uh didn't know they were pregnant. So,
And
I
she
don't know.
had a baby.
They had a baby. They had to move
Yeah.
the boat because we were just trying to figure out. You know how we were docking to a location because my cell phone clicked on and said, you can you're in this part of Mexico, you can go ahead and use your phone. And I was like, what? I thought we were in the middle of the ocean. Well, the boat had to go and do a little detour and pull over to some part of
Yeah.
Mexico, and that person had to get off because they had had a baby on the boat,
Mhm.
like
And
in the middle of the.
in cases like that, like to go on a cruise, you actually don't need a passport. You can use
Uh,
your birth certificate. But in that case, like the example, Tina, with an example, it really happened. Like that person had to get off. You need a passport to
That's
get
what.
back home.
Okay, to get
Now,
out. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
can use your birth certificate if you get on the ship and you get back on the ship and it takes you back to where you came.
yeah.
But if you have to get off and fly from another country back home, you need a passport.
Well, I would
So
say you just probably need a passport, period, because you never know what's going to
But a lot of
happen.
people, and that's crazy because
Mhm.
just look, a lot of people don't be having a passport and
Mhm.
they
yep.
just go.
And you know what? I wonder if that person even knew that because one, hopefully they had their passport. And how do you get on? You didn't know you were pregnant because you did. I don't know if you knew that you have to. If you were so many months pregnant, you can't even get on a cruise ship. So if
Mhm.
you said that, if
You got
so,
to
if
get a
you
doctor's permission.
yeah, but no, on the cruise ship that we were on, if you were more than 30 weeks, you're not even allowed to be on the
Right.
cruise
Mhm.
ship.
Because you have to get a doctor's permission.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm just saying no. Not
they
even with a
give you
permission.
a
It
permission
was
at
not
30
even
weeks.
allowed. It wasn't even allowed. The person
Yeah.
could not get on, even with a doctor's permission. If you
Because
were
you
30
have a
weeks or more,
situation like what you
you
had.
could not get on. Yeah, and then I also wonder now that you had a baby in the middle of the ocean, you're in Mexico. Is that baby now a Mexico is born? I don't know. Is that baby considered born in Mexico? Now you're not even a natural born citizen of the United
Yeah,
United
States.
the
States.
child's
Right.
not, no.
So yeah, I
That's
wonder. I'd have to go back and research and find out what happens if you have a baby in a foreign country because that is, with these new laws now, you got to
Mhm.
be a natural born citizen.
and
So
another thing that I wanted to bring up is some of the ports that you can leave out and go on a cruise. You can Galveston, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana,
uh,
Miami, Florida,
Fort Lauderdale,
Fort
Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale,
Mhm.
Florida. What are some others? There's some other places also.
I know Alaska, there's some places in Alaska that you can go on those different Viking and different type cruises out of Alaska. It is mostly those ones that port because I even seen, I don't know how far they go out, we did the Bahamas, but I think some other those ports around the Florida area, you can go to places like Belize and things like that. So
They
Well,
sure do
in
have those.
Seattle, I think when we were in
Mhm.
Seattle, we saw some cruises
we
come
sure did. Yep, out of
from
Seattle.
And then when we were in Italy, we saw a few cruise ships there.
Yeah. And I want to say when I was in like the Carolinas or something like that, I don't know, maybe not the
Mhm.
Carolinas, maybe they were in Florida, but it was some way that you could catch something to go to a cruise ship
Bahamas.
out of. Hmm.
Well, it's not really a cruise ship. What they do is they do these speed boats because it only take about 30, 45 minutes for you to get off the coast of Florida to the Bahamas.
Yep.
So
Okay.
even if you don't even want to get on a cruise ship, that's another idea.
Mhm.
You can get on that little
And-
boat. That boat, they're not little. They're big boats or whatever, and they can bring you over to the Bahamas
For
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
it's
for
the
the
yeah.
day.
Right back.
For the day.
Yeah, the
and
yeah, the
bring-
Bohemies
Yeah.
and the speed, but those are little speed boats. But
Mhm.
you remember one time, Event, we went on a cruise and we were on the cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and they put us on these little boats and drove us to like the
Tenders.
caves,
They
huh?
call them tenders.
Tenders. We took a
Mhm.
Yeah.
tender. We were on, so we didn't dock. We stayed in the middle of the ocean, and we just got on a tender and went over to
Right.
like
And yeah, they do that because the cruise ship, the land is low, and the cruise ship can't go all the way up to
Yeah.
where you need to dock.
yeah.
So
I thought that was crazy.
the cruise ship kind of stays off in the ocean, and they send these tender boats to pick you up and bring you, to land.
Yeah. So
Hmm,
that was
interesting.
fun. That was kind of fun because
Yeah.
you really kind of you got to pay attention, get off. You almost like getting into like one of those safety rafts is almost what it looked like, and then they
Mhm.
speed you over there, and then they bring in a different group. So that was pretty fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's so much to do with cruises. I mean, I love a good cruise, and my family's taking a family cruise this Christmas. So
Wow.
so we're gonna
Okay.
be going out.
So I know we're about to end this, but that was something I was thinking about, like like group cruises, like girlfriend group cruises, family reunions, church groups. They do, cruises. Like a lot of people do cruises, like
Anniversaries of
People
weddings.
even take their kids on that Disney cruise.
Yeah.
That's big with the kids, Disney.
And then they got the party cruise with the Virgin Cruise
They do.
Line, which is like
And
a
Virgin is all adult. So if you do
Oh.
want to go on a
Mhm.
cruise and you don't want to be bothered with kids,
Yeah, go
do
Virgin.
the Virgin.
Go
Mhm.
Virgin. Well, this is good. I mean, that's good information because so if you're cruising, you better come and listen to this podcast so you can hear all the things to do, don't do, and be ready to do.
Okay.
Well, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Evette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Sheletta makes you laugh, but did you know Sheletta Brundidge can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Sheletta Brundidge founded Sheletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Sheletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Sheletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
What's up, everyone? It's Sheletta. I'm here getting a phone for one of my newly minted teenagers with Xfinity Mobile. They've got great options, affordable plans, and solid coverage that works for our whole family. With Xfinity Mobile, my daughter can stay connected with me wherever she goes. And did you know when you sign up, you can get an extra phone line free for a full year? Switch to Xfinity Mobile today for more savings, more smiles, and more ways to stay connected.